Hi, everyone, and welcome back. This is Rebecca, and I have a new episode on Living on High Alert. This particular episode is geared for Elon Musk. So, Mr. Musk, episode is directed to you. I went to your facility at SpaceX in Texas, and I did a security assessment because that's what I do. I'm a security consultant. I find the flaws in a system, and then I do whatever my report is, and then I send it back so there could be some, corrections or look to see. But with yours in SpaceX, I found it very necessary, Elon, because you've moved out of being a corporate individual into the spotlight of being a public individual and almost referred to sitting at the right hand of Trump. But what concerned me the most is that when I started analyzing all of your area where SpaceX is, I drove, I walked, I went all over the premises, I went to the rockets, I went to where your one rocket launched, came back from space, landed back into its landing pad, and I was very impressed at your facilities. But I was not impressed with your perimeter security. And I thought about how I was going to approach this with you because sending you the findings and, the root causes and everything was great. But this public awareness has to be really what you have to focus on. I realized going into SpaceX, there's a straight strip of road, and it belongs to the state of Texas. So you really can't start way back where the border is, check to screen people that are coming through. It's just opened all the way. And that was very disturbing to me because I thought that maybe you could make some kind of an arrangement with the state of Texas to where you would be able to have some kind of a gate close to theirs, because that's a long stretch to the site to where a lot of damage can be done and infiltrated. When you're driving down that stretch on both sides, to anybody that doesn't know, is that it's just like fields. And on the other side, on the left-hand side, when you're going in, it's like the wetlands. Okay, and then of course you have all the ocean on the outside where SpaceX launch pad is, and then you have, Starlink, and you have everything else that continues there. But Mr. Musk, I know that you focus on security a lot, and I know that you have a lot of bodyguards, and you focus on your personal security a lot. I've been a bodyguard for 25 years for one client, okay, a very notorious client. So I know when I speak, I know what I'm talking about. And you have to apply more to your perimeters, and you have to have your team be more aware of your outside perimeters. I walked right up to where you have a little tent and one little, and I'll post pictures and people can see it, and one guard right there, and that's it. I could have drove right through straight to that rocket. I was feet away from that one rocket. That was the most disastrous security breach. It could take anybody. I'm trying to put this in technical words, but I think the best thing to say is that anybody could have walked up to your rocket and blew it up. That's how the access was granted to the public. And that to me was not acceptable on any level. So I hope that you take this as me wanting to allow you to step back and see that your outside perimeter needs to be really, really at a distance. You go further down the road and where your rocket is, and you have a fence there, and I saw one vehicle parked. I couldn't see anybody in it, okay? But I parked across from it. I walked across the street, had my dog, walked up and down, close to it. I could touch it, okay? Few feet away from where your launching pad is, okay, which is impressive. Anybody that goes down there, it's an impressive sight to see. But from a security standpoint, it's a nightmare, okay? Because you have gaps in between your fence to where you could look straight through. I could have walked up at any time and fired into it because nobody checked me making that road trip down there. Nobody stopped me. I mean, I was just so surprised, Elon, on how relaxed your security was on your perimeters. I'm sure your security in the inside of your buildings are very secure and the access is very, very secure. But you don't have to worry about an inside access if you have outside breaches. And I saw nothing but outside opportunity to breach your perimeters. So with that said, what I would like to see, whatever your security team or whoever your head of security is, that you need to build an outside perimeter with guards all around both sides of the street, the highway. The access is just not acceptable to the public. It should not be acceptable to the public. Not that kind of access, not with what you're doing, and not the kind of fuel that you have there on your premise. So allow me to take this opportunity, Mr. Musk, that I made this special trip down there just to assess this on my own, to see how far I could get in and breach your access, because I know all about breaching access. I breached the national security of our president. I breached Secret Service's access and found the flaws in their system. And I sat next to President Bush and First Lady Barbara Bush at an event. I was a few feet away from them, and I'm on video. And nobody removed me. Nobody questioned me how I gained the access there. So when I say this to you, it's because I come with authority, I come with expertise, and I know what I'm talking about when I'm saying this. And what I'm trying to say here, Mr. Musk, is prevent mishaps to the town, the people that live there. Don't bring this to your doorstep. Find a way immediately to correct it. Where your officer is right there at your front, put a barrier of gates access there. Put a tower there where you can see and view from the highway coming down, not from, if you're looking from cameras, posted somewhere inside your facility. I don't even see a guard station there. And if it's hidden, that's okay. But where is your perimeter outside? So this was a very, this is one of those assignments that I see that is a danger to the public, a danger to your employees, a danger to your structure, because we live in times where everything should be on high alert, and you're civil. You know, if you go to NASA, you're not getting anywhere near. So I really found this to be something that can easily be corrected before incident, especially now that you are on a government level with the Department of Efficiency, and to go into all of these departments and start cutting all the waste and the accountability factor, which our country needs, and which I am so 100% for, but it also makes you a larger target with your corporations. So you need to reassess every corporation that you have in their security systems. I, for one, am more than happy that I have brought this to your attention, which I'm sure you already know, and you don't need somebody like me telling you. And I guess up until this point, everything has been fine. But that game has changed. The players are different now. There's a lot of resentment and people out there that want to destroy. And so your vision should be a lot broader now on outside perimeters. You need your security detailed. You need your team or whoever is ahead of your security department. They need to focus on your outside perimeters because that's where access is granted. And I know you have the ocean out there, and I know that you have whatever you have out there protecting, your oceans. But you have a full access. You have a full road access all the way into SpaceX. And so I found it most alarming. And I hope that what I'm telling you, and I'm letting the public know, so that they will know that this is going to change and that the access is going to change. And the first thing that I would do, or I would recommend, and you probably have tried already, or maybe you haven't, or maybe your security detail hasn't, but you need to get with the state of Texas and you need to put some kind of access point that people that are driving in, that should be checked if they're not employees, if they're not workers, because they're already vetted through your company. I'm talking to people like myself that just went straight in and had full access, touch access to both sides of the road. That's not acceptable during this time and this age. So, Mr. Musk, I called the report that I did for you, I call it the Musk Factor, because I will constantly be focusing not only what you're doing with the Department of Energy and efficiency and education and everything that you're doing, it's and the committee, because this is something that I think that the American people should focus on and they should really understand. But you can't cover the Americans' backyard if you're not covering your own. And you have to start by protecting your backyard, your facilities. And you start that with making sure that your outside perimeters are at the utmost state of the art with human foot soldiers protecting your property. Because once that is secure, you're secure, then I feel that my country and the job that you're going to do for my country and the committee that you sit on and what you advise the president on as far as your findings, there will be no interruptions. There will be no interference from outside, and it'll allow you to do your job. So I think with that in mind, I make this very important podcast directed to you, because SpaceX is one of the most futuristic part of where our planet is going to go, and where someday we might occupy Mars. It's not if, it's when. And probably won't be in my lifetime, but it'll be in my grandchildren or my great-grandchildren's lifetime. And I don't want to see any disruption to that. I don't want to see somebody coming in and being a lone wolf and destroying your launch pad or blowing up your fuel tanks. But that's what kind of access I see that they have to your facility. So take this as a concerned American. Take this as an American that loves this country. Take this as I am a professional and this is my field. This is what I've done for 40, 50 years. I've been in other countries. I've been in Syria and during Desert Storm. So I know what Scud missiles can do. I know what homegrown attached bombs can do, walking into a facility and blowing up something. And believe me when I say to you, Mr. Musk, I see this as a reality on your facilities. I see this as somebody walking in and is capable of doing that damage because you have no outside perimeters. Not enough to warrant what you house at SpaceX. So I hope that, maybe down the road we can have further conversation. There's a lot more that I see that I want to express, but I will not do it, airing it, because this will give insight to somebody that should not have. So with that in mind, I am glad that I took the trip and the opportunity to assess this facility, because it's an impressive facility. It's something that I see that every American should go and visit and see a launch of an aircraft taking, into space, a missile going into space, because I don't care if it's at California Air Force Base or it's at NASA or it's with you or any place else. It's just something that it's part of what we're doing now and where we are in our lives, and it's going to be integrated into everything that we do from this moment on of the human race, not just America. So I hope that is enough for you to take notice, and I hope that this message gets out to you to where you will be able to continue to do that. So this will end Living on High Alert for today until my next episode and the Musk Factor. And thank you very much. Until next time, may God bless you and God bless America.